you just got a nice shot of my tits.
Just the way I like it.
Yeah, they've been popping recently, but that's only because I'm getting my period. So
That's always the most like telltale sign for me that it's like coming any day now is like when my boobs just get absolutely massive.
Dude, yes.
But my boobs are 2 different sizes. So like my right one, bro, so ginormous. And then my left one, it's like you can really tell that they're different sizes when I'm about to start my period.
Really? I never noticed, but I also don't stare at your tits. But
Wait, actually, no, my left one's bigger than my right.
oh, okay.
Like, and then when I'm on like on my period and they get like kind of swollen, it's like,
dude,
holy shit.
When we went and saw Barbie this past weekend, I was like, why are my boobs boobing?
They were very perky.
Why are they
like you had cleavage,
but I don't normally. And then I was like, and then my phone alerted me and said, ring, ring, ring.
Yeah,
Mother Nature's about to appear. And I said, oh, that's why I have cleavage today. And they're still doing it. Like, I don't know. I'm like, okay.
They're popping out. I'm trying not to look at your boobs. I'm trying to just like look at your eyes.
No, you can't. I'm
okay,
going to take the temptation away. I'm going to say it. Have sex with a Scorpio.
I could glute bridge your dad. I'm naked. Hold on.
We will be flicking the beans to that.
But she's tatted and I take meth. Is somebody in your house right now?
But you know what? Fuck your ass.
Yeah, I had sex last night.
You can make your own money. You can literally have your own job of your dreams. You can own your own house. You can own your own car. You can pay all your fucking own bills. So what is that man? That man is sex and a best friend, and that's it.
I heard nothing but the truth. I actually saw this TikTok the other day and it was like this doctor. I don't know if she was actually a doctor. I could have just made that up. It was this woman talking about I don't even know if she did. I'm just going to say that she is so I sound more official. But she was talking about like how, you know, we have like 4 different phases every month because of like our ovulation, and we technically because of that like hold like 4 different like not personalities, but it's like it's almost like depending on your cycle, it like you're going to like react differently to like stress or like confrontation or like your attractiveness to like whatever. No, exactly. That's what she was saying. She's like 4 times a month you're going to have this different, like she called it a personality, but it's almost like she was like you're gonna like admit different characteristics than like then you're like normal.
Well, because okay, so like if week 1 wasn't your, it doesn't matter, but like if week 1 someone told you something like sad or upsetting or something to you might be like, okay, cool, like whatever. But then like week 3 you're gonna be like, are you, that's like the end of the world.
Like if they told you the same thing or like you were in that same scenario, you would react completely different.
Yeah, no. So I only knew about this when I started like with gut health because it does affect that. But then also the way that you work out also should tie into like what week of your cycle you're on, because like it would, a big thing with women and like working out because of the 4 stages of the cycle is like you're so tired certain times, or like you have a lot of energy certain times, and like the fatigue and all that kind of stuff, and like also like mentally like your headspace changes. So it's like the way that you're supposed to work out, if you can figure it out and do different workouts in each of those times, it'll like almost motivate you to continuously
like you'll
work
get
out.
The most out of it.
Yeah, and then also like you're using it to like your strength. There's like a whole science on it, and I don't know, but
I watched this TikTok too of this like female trainer, and she was talking about how like she finds it really weird when male trainers specialize or like only want to train like female clients, or like they like refuse to train anybody else, because she's like in reality it's like unless you are very, very educated on like a woman's like hormonal system, you are not going to be the best person to train this person for any type of physical whatever, because she's like, and also she's like, I find it weird that it's like you refuse to work with men, because it's like, why do you really want to train only women? Like you're just being creepy. But like she was saying like, she's like, I would recommend like a female trainer if you are also a woman, just because like who's also knowledgeable, like obviously if you don't know anything, but it's just like because like you're not gonna know at that level like what to do.
Right. Or
to,
like me
get the,
being like, I'm on my period to a male trainer. They're like, okay. But like,
yeah, and like, like tough it out, bitch. Like we're going to get this, like do it. And it's like, okay, but like, I just need you to like alter it.
Like during your period too, it's like you're typically weaker. Like the week leading up to your period, you're stronger because like you have so much, like your hormones are heightened, your testosterone's heightened. So like your ability to lift a lot more is there. So like that week you should be like lifting really heavy. And then the week of your period, you're typically a lot weaker. And like for that, it's like to know that too and not be like one hard on yourself. Cause it's like, why can't I lift? Like last week I was deadlifting 150 and this week I can't even get up 100 or whatever. But like the importance of knowing that, because like this next week, like you could weight wise lift a lot like lighter, but do higher reps and still get the same out of it. So like that's like the purpose of also like knowing it. Because like those are the two things I do know. Outside of that, I don't really
I mean,
know
I'll just say like when I was training like for my marathon, and like you feel that so hard when you're doing cardio, like depending on your cycle. Like I would, like the week before I would get my period, I couldn't run for shit. Like I was exhausted. I would get like to mile 6 and then like I would like hit that wall and be like, I literally can't. And then the week of my period, I was like fucking Usain Bolt. Like I was like sprinting, I was doing the best. But then like if I would ever try to lift the week of my period, oh my god, like I would get so fucking frustrated and be like, I'm done.
Right. Well,
but like I could do cardio like crazy.
Right. But that's why like that's why it's also supposed to be like lower weight, higher reps, because your cardio is like typically a little bit better. Plus it's like, I mean, that's still great exercise anyway. But like it's to know all that shit to like go along with it is wild. I wish I knew more. Maybe one day we can have someone come on that's like
knowledgeable about that,
because that'd be so interesting. Just for like us and the audience. But like I would want to know.
Yeah, me too. Because also then like I think you're totally right where it's like helps with the motivation factor, because like I will get so fucking hard on myself if I'm like not able to do something, and like to have like more of like a reason behind that and not to just be like, oh, you're just like weak.
Yeah, but also I feel like it'd be nice to know like this week was like, it's okay if I'm doing more like yoga and Pilates and like walking, like, and then the next week like lift a little bit more, or like I don't know. So like I just feel like, because I mean the world is made for men, which we know, but like I feel like even the way that like lifting and being in the gym and like that type of culture is like also created by men. So it's like the percentages in which you should hit each week, and like sometimes you just literally cannot. And like, but I'm not saying that men can't or they can, because I don't know, I'm not a man, but like,
but they also do not have irregular hormones ever.
Right. So I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know, I can't speak for them, but like I feel like for us it would be like make more sense to like have programming specifically for women, like in that manner. Which would be kind of cool.
I mean, there's a million and one reasons I would want to go to a like women only gym, but like also that would be one of them.
I like heard of them making one in Nashville. Did they not?
You had sent me that like a year ago.
I feel like they did.
And like I had looked into it, but it was like not a female only gym. It was like
a female only section.
Yeah, it was just like a section. And I'm like, I don't even want to see a single fucking man in the parking lot. I don't want to have to walk by one. Like that's the reason I want to go to a girls only gym. It's like I don't care to like, oh, because we're working the same. Like I don't even want to see your fucking face. I don't want to have to fucking talk to you or like not talk to you or like you're in my way.
Well, that's like today when I told you like I went up. So I was doing the assisted pull-up machine at the Y. That's where I go right now. And like that machine is like attached to like a whole rig of pulley machines of like lat pull downs and rows and like all this stuff. And then like free pulleys to do like the extra. And right next to where I was, so I was like on the outside, and then like right on the other side, so like 90 degrees to me, was the lat pull down machine. And I like went over to go where I was going, and this guy was like just sitting there before, because I was like stretching before I went over there. So like I saw what he was doing previous to me coming over, and it was like him just straight chilling on the lat pull down machine. And then when I got there, he took the pin out, moved it so heavy, and was just trying to rep out fucking lat pull downs to like as fast as he fucking could. And then like,
which is like
got up.
The worst thing to do in a lat pull down is like all about like the tension and like taking
anything
your
with
time.
Pulleys is like literally like pulley, like anything with the pulley is to like take your time, and like both like the pull and the release is supposed to be like slow.
It's like so targeted, and like the point is like to feel where that muscle is moving, so you're not using the wrong muscles.
Right. So and he was just ripping them.
Jeez.
And he got up and he was like grunting, and then he sat back down and do like 3. Then he sat back down and he did 2. Then he sat back down and he did 1, and then he got up and he just like darted away. And I was like, either did I make you uncomfortable, or do you not know what you're doing? Like, it was like either one of the two. Like, I don't know if I made him uncomfortable by like being there, like he like, or he was like, because I really don't think he was trying to show off. If he was, that was embarrassing. Like, I don't know what he was doing, because then he went over and he did rows. Like, he used like the row pulley and like was just ripping him out over there too.
I genuinely think that he just didn't know what he was doing.
I think he mostly didn't know what he was doing, but like at first I felt like I made him like flustered.
I was about to say, like, I don't
there.
think it was like uncomfortable. I think it was like, oh well, I need to put,
show her.
Yeah, like I need to do this and put the weight up super high and like, you know, assert my dominance. I don't think you made him uncomfortable. I think you tested his fucking ego.
Also, because today the way I went to the gym, I had Lululemon Align leggings on that were high waisted, and then that black sports bra you gave me from Target, but it like, because my boobs have been boobing, it pushed my cleavage up like a lot.
I know, it was tight on me. That's
it was
why I was
cute.
like, I can't wear this.
It was like, I looked
my
cute.
My boobs were like in my chin.
I looked cute, but girl, they were boobing. That's not. I wear my Align Lululemon one that you gave me, like the tank top, all the time to work, and everyone's like, "Oh, you have that one." I said, first of all, it was given to me. Yeah, I said, because my girl's boobs didn't fit in here. Okay, and mine barely fit in here.
But they were spilling out, and
but
I was
mine
like,
barely fit.
Yeah, like I couldn't wear it like to work out. Like, it was a around the house top, and even so, like my boob, like every once in a while, like it would just kind of like plop out.
See, okay, that's the other thing about like going to the gym is like, first of all, a lot of cute outfits. You girls are killing it in the gym. I've like seen so many cute sets and stuff, but like the people that are making them have to be men, because like, why are they one-shouldered?
Yeah. Or it's women who have no fucking boobs at all.
Like,
or they have no ass, or they have nothing. Because also, like, can we stop, like, not to be anti-woman, but we don't need the like butt ruching on the pants.
I don't understand the butt ruching. I hate that. I've never bought leggings like that.
It's so uncomfortable, A, to feel, and B, like, why do you need that?
And also, it's obvious when you have it, because it's like the way it shapes your butt is just so much more different than like normal leggings. Also, can we stop putting seams over my vagina?
They actually just came out with a seamless
at Lulu.
The line, I think they just made.
So they
one
already
without
made
a
them
front
for
seam.
They already make them for Gymshark. Like Gymshark already has that shit. Because it also does make you look like you have like it's like a saggy vagina kind of. But at the same time, like I'm more here for like how uncomfortable it is to have a front seam in the vagina.
Yeah, like it's like eating it.
It's eating it, but it's also like digging into my vagina. Like it hurts. Like it's not comfortable, especially in like the Align shorts when like they start to ride up a little bit and they're just like up in you. I don't know.
I would love a non-front line with the Lulu. I don't know what the like design style is, but it's like the ones I run in. Because the front seam on that, when you're like 10 miles in,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. Like you have to pick it, because if you don't, like you're going to have chafe between your fucking lips.
Also, it's like you have to pick it, but it's also like wet at this point. Like,
it's
disgusting.
It's soaked and it's
disgusting.
Sweaty and it's gross. And like, yeah, it's just so unnecessary. Like, I don't know. It's somebody who has a tiny ass vagine, or it's a man who designs them.
No, I don't know. But the workout clothing,
both.
The workout clothing has been cute recently, but it's just like
not practical.
It's not practical. It's all leisure, and I feel like I'm feeling like this in the gym.
That's
I'm like,
so true. Those one strap things. That's such a like. Oh, I'm gonna go to the store.
Yeah, it's like a very like leisure outfit,
because like my boob would fall out of that.
No, one jump and it's out. And I don't even have boobs like that, but like my shit's out.
Yeah.
Or like honestly, Gymshark came out with like a strapless workout top too. Like what are you doing?
No, because dude, the way like fitness influencers wear that shit,
I don't get it.
But
I don't
also,
get it.
Like I feel like people who like wear Gymshark, like ride or die Gymshark people, have no boobs.
Facts.
Because they're all just like shredded.
That's also
and they
facts.
have no fat on their body, so like they don't have boobs.
I mean, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
In a sense, but also at the same time, not.
Yeah. I'm not jealous for like what you have to do to get there.
No, I agree.
I'm jealous of what you look like, but like I'm not jealous of the fact that like you can't have ketchup when you have fries.
No,
or like you just can't have fries.
No, okay. I was talking to
and you put buffalo sauce on everything and mustard because they have no calories, and I'm like, I'm not jealous of that.
No, I'm not doing that.
What the fucking cottage cheese, mustard, and raw Brussels sprout
Count me
thing?
out. I've done it all.
I've
done it all.
Take your eating disorder and shove it up your butt.
I've tried to make zucchini fucking fries. Disgusting. Zucchini noodles, disgusting.
The only way zucchini fries are good is when you deep fry them, which defeats the fucking purpose.
Right. I've also done like the banana, like
the paleo
shit.
Oh yeah.
Which like also for me in my defense, it's because it's like I couldn't have dairy, and for the longest time they didn't make dairy free ice cream. So that was like the only way. But now they've gotten
good at it.
Oh my god! Now I'm just like,
you can't even tell the difference. I go to Jenny's and sometimes I prefer the vegan one.
So good.
Because I'm like, no, hit me with that chocolate, the Texas sheet cake.
Oh, and the coconut cream coffee.
Yeah, the cold brew.
So good. So good. But like, I've done all that shit. So I'm not jealous of that. And I was actually talking to a girl last night about that, about being like, she's like a little bit bigger, and she was basically saying like, I used to get uncomfortable when people who were like thinner than me or whatever would like call themselves out and be like, oh, I feel so fat today, or I hate this about myself. And she's like, well, imagine what I feel like, whatever. Yeah. And she's like, until one day someone like literally told me how like in the gym or just in life, like people are not looking at you like that. Like people are not seeing like your imperfections. They're only looking at themselves. Like your toughest critic is like yourself.
Yeah. Well, and when people are critical against you, it's because like that's their biggest fear.
Exactly.
It's like you existing happy in the body that you have.
No, exactly.
And like they cannot comprehend that because like they're terrified of that.
Oh, 100%.
Because they know that they wouldn't be happy.
Right. And I was also telling her, I was like, you know, it's funny because like last year at this time, I was probably like the most fit I ever was. And like I look back at pictures of it and I'm like, damn, like I literally looked like that. I said, but also I never ate ice cream. I never had soda. I never went out to eat. I never did any of those things. Yeah. Because I was like, I had to stay on like my whatever. And I felt great. Like I definitely did it like the right way, but it still was like, then honestly, like it was like a blessing that I had to get surgery. I think
so too.
Like it in like two different ways.
Yeah.
Like one, because I look at it and I'm like, damn, like I did do that and I can do that again if I want to. But like, was I even happy because I found something else to hate about myself?
Yeah.
But then also like now I'm trying to find a balance of like eating a certain way and working out, and it not being like the end of the world if I don't work out, or the end of the world if I eat ice cream 3 nights a week. Because honestly, I do it 5. But like, I don't know. I just feel like the culture of it is like crazy.
Yeah. Well, also too, I think you reach a certain age, and like I've been seeing a lot of videos on TikTok, and we talked about this a really long time ago about like the second puberty that you hit in your mid-20s when you're like, oh my God, what? My boobs just grew 2 cup sizes. Yeah. And it's a lot of girls who were like, I think a lot of this has to do with the Barbie movie coming out, and we're going to talk about that in a bit. But like they're using that Billie Eilish song, you know, and they're doing videos of like when they were 19 and then 20 and then 21 and then 23 or 22 and then 23, and like how their bodies changed, and like coming to terms with like, okay, this is my normal. Like this, like getting like I have a little bit of fat. Like, my boobs are bigger.
My cellulite's setting in on my thighs.
Yeah, like my face is more round. I don't have like, you know, defined arms when I'm just normally existing as I did when I was fucking 19 because I didn't have fat on my body like that. Like, and it is really weird, like when you look at it when you're first going through it, because you're like, what is happening? I'm not doing anything different. I'm consuming the same. I'm working out the same, or it feels like I am, and like I don't think I'm doing anything, but it really is like your body just changes. And like I've hit that point in my life where I don't care about not having fat on my stomach, or I don't care about my fucking arms looking like they don't move when I walk around. Like it's not that fucking deep. I still can wear
it's so
low-waisted shit and have like my belly hanging out a bit, and like
it still be hot.
The world goes on. Like it's not the end of the world.
The world goes on. You still look hot. It's how you wear it.
Yeah, and like I'm realizing too that like even at when I was like, you know, really skinny or whatever the fuck, like I still fucking hated myself.
Right.
So like
coming to that realization is the biggest like game changer of your life.
Yeah.
Like when you think that you're at your fittest or your hottest or whatever, and not that you come out of it, but I think that like switch that one day when you're like, but I still hate XYZ about myself, or I'm miserable because I haven't been able to eat like my favorite food in a year and a half or whatever to get here. Like I think that realization is like, that is the game changer to like your self-hatred of like your body.
It literally is. And like even recently I finally figured out my schedule enough to like give me time to like cook, because like I love cooking, I love making food and eating food and like preparing it and everything. And like I've started like cooking a lot more, which means I'm eating out a lot less, so I'm like putting a lot more healthier foods in my body just because of that. But I've realized like there are certain things that I have to have in order for me to not want to unalive myself. I have to have sugar. I cannot not have sugar. I must have something sweet at the end of the day. Like whether that's a fucking cookie, whether that's a brownie, whatever. I'm going to have it. And I've realized like if I cut that out of my life, I might, you know, look a slightly less pudgy, or maybe I not have acne as bad. I don't fucking care, because I am miserable as a human being without it. So like I'm still gonna eat.
It's like that joy.
My 2 bags of Gushers before bed.
It's
like
that
that's
joy is having a snack in bed is my favorite thing. If I don't have a snack before I go to bed, I'm like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
How does life go on?
Also, my brain doesn't stop. Like I can't tear my like. And that's another thing too. It's like listening to your cravings. Like I'm not like saying, because I also had like a really bad binge eating problem when I was like in my most depressed state, and coping with that has also been hard throughout my life, because sometimes I will find myself like really wanting to binge and like whatever, and like having to like figure out other things to fill my mind with. But I've also realized that like if I don't honor a craving, it's never gonna go away. Like, and there's nothing else that's gonna really satisfy it.
No.
And that's something that diet culture tries to tell you. Like, oh, add the cheesecake flavored sugar-free Jello powder to the 0-calorie Cool Whip, and it tastes just like. No, it doesn't.
No, it's like, yeah, if you're
and maybe for like
sweet, just have a whole spoonful of peanut butter, and like it'll go away. No,
and also like that's not how that works. Like your brain is actually addicted to like certain things, and like you can't just overnight just be like, I'm done.
No. No, I mean right now my whole thing is like, just because I like working in a restaurant, like and just being like, I'm just trying to not have as much fried food. Because
it's the most accessible.
It's so simple. And just to be like, after a long night, like the thing that hits the most is like chicken fingers and fries. Like that shit sounds so good every single night after it's like been a long night. You're like, it's not much effort. Like it's simple.
It's like a comfort meal.
Yeah, it feels great. I'm like, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like not because it's like I'm never gonna have it again, but it's like I need to not keep thinking it's like the go-to meal.
Yeah. I feel
like,
that.
I don't know.
I was like that for a while with like fucking easy ass food too, because I was just like, I don't want to cook, or I don't have time, so I was doing the same thing with like mac and cheese and like chicken nuggets. Yeah, and I'm like, girl, dinner is fine from time to time, but like, bitch, you need to eat normal sometimes.
Right, like that's my thing. Like at 1 a.m., like every single Friday, Saturday, Sunday, eating chicken fingers and fries has got to slow down, babes. Like slow
also, like
down.
I just kind of feel like shit because of it. That's what I've noticed is like whenever I eat better, not like less, but just like better foods for me, I feel so much better.
No, and I've been honestly like, okay, so I told myself for a month I can't have anything fried, and that might be like intense, and if I have a French fry here or there, it's fine. But like I really haven't eaten fried food for like 2 weeks now.
Well, because also I feel like fried food,
it's like sluggish.
It's like, not even that. It's like, it's also like you don't make fried food at home. Yeah. Because like you and I don't own a deep fryer. And like, so it's like that also associates like fried food to me in my head is like, okay, you're not buying takeout. Because like, and which also is like a good thing to not do, like money wise. You know what I mean?
No, 100%. So like my thing is like, okay, no fried food. And like the past like 2 weeks that I haven't, like it's been like more conscious about it. Like I've definitely stolen some fries and like whatever, but not like
you're not ton. Like ordering like
yeah. Like I have felt so much better. I feel like I have so much more energy, and like it might not last forever, but I'm like, damn,
dude, it is crazy. Like when you like take out the bad thing, you're like, oh wow, that does help.
Yeah.
Like when people like, that's how I felt like when I started running, and people were like, running is so good. It like clears your mind and like helps you not be depressed. And I was like, you guys are crazy. And then like when I had my first runner's high, as somebody who's like sober and like I don't ever have a head change, and like I've had like weird addiction shit my whole life with stuff, so it's like I didn't think that would be real, because I'm like, okay,
you're lying.
Yeah. And then when I experienced it, I was like, holy shit, they didn't lie.
You're like, this is amazing.
It's a lot of work to get there, but bitch, so is fucking doing heroin. And like, this one is at least good for you.
This one at least you can continue to do.
Yeah. And the only thing, it's probably going to take a toll on my knees a bit. But other than that, like,
my knees a bit.
Dude, like the high is so real. But it is crazy. Like, yeah, it's like when people are like, drink X amount of things of water, ounces of water a day. Like when I did that, I was like, oh, y'all weren't lying. I actually do feel better, and my skin doesn't look as terrible.
Yeah,
it doesn't look great because I still do other things that make it bad, but
no,
the water helps
it's
a
the
bit.
Cookie at night.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
No, it's
it's the gushers.
It's the gushers.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But I'm like, I don't care.
Okay, but like a little bit of acne for a lot of happiness,
dude. It's so
it's worth it. It is
so worth it.
But honestly, I feel like this was a great segue into seeing Barbie this past weekend, and I hope that a lot
you guys,
if you guys got to see Barbie,
you have to see it.
Honestly, yeah, I had no expectations going in. Did you?
I had so many expectations. Like honestly, like the thing about me is like I'm a very big movie buff.
Yeah,
and I knew the director of this movie has also directed Lady Bird and Little Women. So she's been a very big, like, I'm going to give you the story, but I'm also going to give you this meaningful, like, deeper, like, action item behind it. And, like, you know, press against societal norms and whatever. So I knew there was going to be, like, some of that. But, like, it thoroughly exceeded my expectations.
I didn't look up anything on it because I didn't want to have like any. I knew it wasn't gonna be like, ooh, Barbie's playhouse. Like I'm like Barbie and we're in like, well, it was you're in Barbie's world, but I'm saying like it was like the characters just like having a like whatever, like playing, I guess.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't gonna be like that, but I did not expect for it to be the way that it was.
Yeah.
Like
it was okay. Spoilers ahead. Not that we're gonna like dive into the movie at length, but like if you haven't seen it yet, maybe don't listen to this part. Skip like, I don't know.
It's probably gonna be the whole rest of the episode.
Yeah. So bye.
Love you guys. Thank you for supporting.
But the way that this movie, I think the coolest part about this movie and like what it did was like it showed women, all women, because the thing about Barbie as like a toy and as a pop culture item is it's like it's something that all women have been exposed to, probably owned at some point in their life, and regardless of your upbringing, your political affiliation, your race, like whatever, like you probably know what Barbie is or have been exposed to it or the idea of it. And I think the coolest part of it is like gave those people who like maybe aren't as woke and as feminist and as like understanding of like the implications of like the reality of the patriarchy, it forced them to like, this is your reality, whether you want to accept it or not. This is how it is. I'm gonna give it to you in the most elementary fucking easily digestible format possible, and you're going to like it, and I hope you wake up. Yes. And that was the whole point of the movie, is to wake up the women in the theater or in America who do not realize the effects that the patriarchy and the people running our world have on them.
I think that it was like watching the movie and seeing like everything and the message and everything that was going on. It was insane to me that like this isn't a personal experience that Emily and I have had, because Emily and I have talked about this so many times, like over and over and over again. And like, obviously it's not just our personal experience, but to take a movie like Barbie and its brand and its name and make it about that, to me was like, it is way, way, way worse than you and I sitting on my couch talking about it.
No, because
like that's what's that's what
there's that many people
know.
Experiencing the exact same thing that we do every day. And like also it was so validating as a woman to really watch to see like this production show the rest of the world the reality of what it's like existing as a woman. Because like I will talk to any man in my life, and like the thing is, like, as much as you will explain to them how bad it is, they don't get it.
Yeah.
And they don't think it's as bad as you say it is. Like the fact that like I could say like at any given moment stepping outside, there's a 99% chance that a man is going to say something to me, whether that's sexual, whether that's even just coming up and saying something to me, like they will. Like that's just how it is. And every woman is the exact same. And men don't believe that that happens to everybody. They believe it only happens to really attractive women, or, you know, the perfect body, the girl who looks like Barbie. And the reality is like it happens to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, like Weird Barbie legit was like a part of the movie, which is like perfect. It's like the one like everybody had a Barbie where they like cut the hair off, drew on it, gave her their own style, and like threw it in the bottom of the bin, and she's like in splits and stuff. But like even showing that story that like she still had to deal with it. Like showed that point. Like it's not just perfect Barbie. It's not just the Barbie standard or whatever. Like I mean, even for me, like walking, I don't like to be outside at night by myself.
No, I don't think any woman, like, I think the thing about existing as a woman is like you don't like doing anything like by yourself or alone.
Going to the grocery store, veering nighttime is scary to me. Is scary. Like I don't like it. I think, and this might be just me, but I genuinely think I'm gonna be sex trafficked at all moments of the day. Like if I see anything that's like off or a little bit weird, or someone, not even just a man, acts like at a weird, I don't know. If I see you too many times in the aisles in the grocery store, I'm leaving. If like, I don't know, just like little things, like anything that stands out, I'm like, I'm scared and I'm already like alert and on guard that like I'm going to be stolen or whatever. But it's like, that shouldn't be like, as like I shouldn't have to think that way to just live. I'm getting groceries. Or like at night when we're done with work, we don't walk alone to our cars. Like we are supposed to either grab 2 other females or a man to walk us to the car. Because you just can't. That's sad. It's
so sad. And I think it's something that the movie also did a really great job of is demonstrating what the world would look like if women were in charge. And the way that they did it, in a way where it was like, okay, Barbie land, it's, you know, all women in charge. It's a matriarchy. Like they run the whole society. They do everything. And the men are there. The Kens are there, but they're not being oppressed. They're not being forced to do anything. They're not being, you know, belittled. The only like default of them being there is like, they just don't have like, they just don't have power, but they were never brought down. But then when the Kins took charge, the first thing that they did was sexualize the women by putting them in weird maid outfits. They made them rub their feet and like serve them what they called like brewskis or beers. And like, instead of just taking the power away and letting the women just exist, they objectified them from the start. And like they demonstrated that so well to be like, a society where women in charge, there is no negative for the men besides just not holding power. But a society where men are in charge, it's bad for women in every regard.
Well, because they also demonstrated that like when they went to the real world. And like that's where Ken got the idea that men should be in charge and men were allowed to have like some sort of patriarchy and stuff like that. And like, I mean, the board of Mattel was like all men who were just like, I mean, just like your stereotypical like board of like a business, exactly what you'd think it would be.
And they physically tried to put Barbie, a woman, in a box. And put her back in her place. Like, and they literally demonstrated that in such a like actual happening. It wasn't even metaphorical.
Even
it was
the secretary who ends up being the one that Barbie needs to find is like already degraded from the moment that like she's being spoken to, and like she's had all of these ideas for Barbie, which is like what Barbie was doing in the real world and like dressing like and stuff. And like they basically told her she was like stupid and like why would she ever think that until like they go back to Barbie Land. Like it's like a whole thing. Like it was, you could completely see like the opposites of each world. And then how like I thought it was also cool to show that like the implications of both sides.
Right.
Like having men rule the world and having women rule the world. Like not that it's a terrible thing, but it's like by the end of like the movie, you kind of see that like in Barbie Land, they're like going to give men some roles other than just like existing. Yeah. And like allowing them to have like a voice for themselves, which is like essentially where we are as women right now. Like we only have a voice a little bit,
but we have no power.
Right. So I think it was like also was good to show that like you do need to have like a balance in a sense, but it doesn't have to be like I mean women are still gonna rule it, but it's Barbie Land. But
I did think also it was really interesting and also sad and also so fucking relatable when Kin takes everything from her and destroys her house and ruins her entire world. And she apologizes to him. And then when after she apologizes, instead of him being like, oh my God, no, I'm sorry too, whatever, he tries to like make a move on her. And she's like, no, I just want to be friends. That to me, I was like,
this is tale as old as time.
But this is also just like, oh my God, it's like, it's so fucking relatable and like a perfect example of like, even when like men fuck up and they do all of these things, like women are the ones stuck picking up the pieces and like putting them back together because they can't do it for themselves. And I also think a great message in the movie is like, Ken is just Ken, you know, like how they said that. But I think that's so true in like men in society. Like women have to be extraordinary and you have to do all these things and like you have to be an individual. Like you cannot just exist as a woman because it's not good enough. But for men it is good enough. And so I think that message of like, well, who am I? Like is a great message for young men to be like, you know, it's okay to like go figure out who you are outside of a woman. Like you need to go figure out for yourself and for your growth as a human being who you are outside of being a partner to a woman. And I loved how they did that. Where it was
because
like,
also all the women in Barbie Land
were paired up with a Ken.
Well, that, but also like for them, like they were all like very independent, living on their own, like going and having their own jobs and having their own friends. And like it was girls' night. Like we're always gonna have girls' night because like we need each other and like we're a pact. Like it was so like we help each other and we uplift each other. But I also can do all of the things I need to do by myself.
And still be a good partner.
Exactly.
In a relationship.
Yeah. And still like, and like, I love how the whole time, like, it kept showing like Barbie setting boundaries that are like even healthy boundaries for like you and I to set in a relationship and being like, no, tonight's girls' night. Like, you need to go home. Like, I don't need to see you tonight because I'm with my girls. And like, even though, of course, like the whole thing of Barbie is that like Ken's always been swooning over her and she doesn't really care. That's always been the Barbie like tale. But like, I just thought it was portrayed so well. Because like in our society, men think that we're supposed to swoon over them when 9 times out of 10 we're not. Yeah. Like we might be obsessed in the moment.
Also, I think they did this such a great way of displaying like women view a lot of, I mean, every man in my life that is like a platonic relationship with me, I view as that. Like, we're just friends. And, like, that was her perspective on him, too. Like, he's like, no, you're my best friend. Like, we're friends. And then, but he couldn't be just friends with her.
And, like, well, and in the beginning, they also show that, like, or when they first, like, go to meet Ken, it's, like, basically they say how Ken only will have a good day if Barbie looks at him. And, like, it's so funny because, like, in where I work now, it is so like that. Like, there's someone there who legitimately, like, has a terrible day if so-called Barbie doesn't look at him or doesn't text him back or whatever, and like his mood completely depends on that, like her validation of him, which was like crazy to like, I don't know, like as I was watching it I was like kind of like putting in perspective of like my own life and I was like, oh fuck.
Well,
like,
and I think that was like what the film did so well is it's like every woman, no matter who you are, you can relate at some level to what they did. Now, was it the most inclusive film of all time? No, but the brand Barbie itself isn't notorious for being a very inclusive brand. So I think they could have done that better. But I honestly think at the end of the day, the target audience is white women for that movie, because stereotypical Barbie is supposed to represent like white women realizing the issue that every other woman faces, but we don't really have to like face it wholeheartedly, because at the end of the day, like we can ride behind like racism and other things where it's like people of like women of color, like they don't have that option. Like they're women, yeah, but also they are in other marginalized communities where it's like they don't have the privilege of being white. And so I think that the Barbie movie did that so well, because the protagonist of the movie outside of Barbie is a Latina woman. And so she had to show Barbie, like she was like, hey, listen, I understand like you're tired and you just want to give up, which is a lot of white women.
Well, she was showing all the Barbies that,
especially like, in Congress right now and everything that's going on. It's like, it feels so easy to just give up and to not vote and to like be like, oh, you know what, I'll just let the men deal with it or whatever, because like at the end of the day, we still benefit from white privilege. But a lot of people can't do that. And so I thought that the movie did that so well and so subtly that to where like, I don't think you should be offended by the movie at all.
No.
But like, you know, there's some people who are going to find offense. Yeah. But like, they did that so sneakily where it's like, if you're not woke and you're not picking up on it, you wouldn't realize. But like, I loved that message too, where it was like almost educational to white women to like be like, you hold so much power that you don't even realize that, like, if you would just apply that and like go try to make change the way that all of these other communities have had to do their whole fucking life, the world could be different. And we have seen that. I mean, since Roe versus Wade got overturned, I mean, white women have finally started to like create community and to, you know, push for change, because like this affects us. You know,
we have to.
Like, and so I thought that was like a really cool message that the movie did as well.
There's also like a part of the movie. So the woman who Barbie basically has to go back to the real world to find has a daughter.
Gloria.
Yeah, has a daughter that's who Barbie originally thought that she had to like save.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. And like their daughter comes off as a bitch along with like, and like they even like, another girl from the school comes up and is like, you don't want to go over to her, like she's not nice, like nobody likes her, whatever.
Yeah.
But like the table of girls like being in middle school and how educated they already were
it's like
on the world, and like knowing,
it's like as equally impressive as it is heartbreaking.
Yes, but like, you know, it's so real.
It's so
I mean, the way that like media is today as well, it's like just, but I think it was also just to show that like we are aware, and I think the younger generations are aware, and like it's only gonna just, I don't want to say trickle down, because it's not trickling down at this point. Like it has,
but like
they know, they're aware
able to vote, and once they hold power, like they
are so educated. It's so clear as day to them of like women's issues and the rights that we have or don't have, and like all of that like a middle schooler was trying to educate Barbie at first when she met her. Yeah. And that is insane. Yeah. That like they portrayed it that way. I don't know. The other thing I thought was cool, she talked about in the car, was like the very beginning of the movie where they were like playing with the baby dolls until like Barbie came. It's like basically until Barbie happened even in the real world. Like, like all toys for like little girls are supposed to be like nurturing and like being a mother and like having to be that like caretaker
because
for
that's
something and someone
fun for you.
But until Barbie came to show like confidence and like I can be hot and sexy and be a doctor, or I can be an astronaut, or I can do all these things, and I'm a woman,
and Barbie's my friend, I'm not taking care of her.
And then the whole time, like the rest of the movie, when they talk about like their like the girl who was like pregnant, they're like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be a mother to like
Yeah,
be
yeah.
something. Is like the whole point of it too, is like we are grown up as women to be like nurturers and caregivers and like be the ones that are compassionate and all of that. And like that's what our toys were.
Yeah.
Where boys have like trucks and cars and dinosaurs and guns and they're like being like destructive and
literally
like all of that. But like it's, I don't know, I thought that was like really cool. And like I put it together when I was watching it, but I kind of honestly forgot until you brought it up again. And I was like, that is so cool that like that was like the opening scene.
I just like the movie is just so smartly done. And if you are a woman,
listen, I'm not even a movie person, and it moved me.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely, like, this is probably the first movie I've watched all year. All of 2023, probably even until last year at this time. Like, I am not a movie person. And I think that, like, I think sometimes also for myself, like, I don't really see it, like, in a cinematic way because I am not a movie person. Like, you can look at something and look so deep into the meaning of X, Y, Z because it's something that you love. But for me to still sit there as a non-movie person, also hates movie theater, so that was already a heightened experience for me, was, like, it was still just as moving and I got just as much out of it as you did, says something.
Right. Totally. Like anybody, but that goes back to just like, it's so relatable. Like, it like, and I think that was what the coolest part about this movie and like society that it's created is this like community with women, like regardless of who you are. Like even just like pulling up to the theater and everybody in pink and everybody like talking to each other and like leaving the theater, people were like, hey Barbie, like calling each other. Like it's the most beautiful thing ever. And like women get so much shit for being basic and for liking the same things and for dressing the same and for talking the same and for whatever the fuck from everybody, including ourselves.
Yes.
Like we are mean to each other because of internalized misogyny and whatever.
Jealousies
and this movie like reminded you that like no, it being a woman and being a part of the community of women is fucking cool. And like basic shit is only basic because it's popular and it's normal to like, and like there's nothing wrong with that. Like that just means that you like what everybody else likes, which is not a bad thing at all,
which also can bring community.
Totally.
That's like, I was also a point
and,
of it. Like
I loved that it like even just leaving the fucking movie theater, people were just in a better mood and like happier, and like it was just so awesome. And anybody who didn't like the movie, you have fucking problems, and like you can criticize the animation or the color scheme, I don't care. Even that, like, I don't think you have the right to criticize because they did it so smartly. And it was
my God,
so
the way that like when they were in Barbie Land, the fact that like there was actually no milk, and when she opened the fridge, it was like a screen. Like they did it so it was like, I don't know.
And also the way that Greta like based all of the scenes off of some of her favorite musicals. Like I don't know if you noticed, but like the brick road that they drove down is like inspired from the Wizard of Oz, and like they do
her checkered
the dancing in the rain
Yeah.
thing, and like it's so smart and like it's so good. And all of these negative reviews are coming from men, and it's like
you're the ones that you also need to wake up. Like this was a point for you to like wake
exactly
up.
Like this movie is like trying to get into your pea-sized brain what it's like being a woman, and you still aren't listening to us. When everybody in the theater is having the exact same reaction, it's true. Every single person in here is laughing at the same time and crying at the same time and like tapping each other, being like, oh my God, I remember playing with that. Like this is real. This is exactly how it is.
This is real in like with like glitter and pink over top of it.
Like we're trying to make this easy to digest for you, because if we show you what it's really like existing as a woman, like it would be too much for you. You wouldn't be able to handle
there
it.
were men in there that some were crying. Some was, like I had a guy next to me who was like, he was so in it. So in it. Like he loved the movie. He didn't cry, I don't think, but like,
but that's
okay,
fine, because it's
okay.
Like, it's not your experience to cry about.
But he was so into it, and like he was there with his wife. And then like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, this person was terrible, but there was a guy sitting in front of me, and he just like couldn't have given a fuck less. And he had a daughter and his wife with him. And I was like, that is so sad.
It is sad.
Like that's sad. I don't know how else, like, you can't sit here and watch this movie and not leave moved at some capacity.
Or at least watch it and take away the fact that, like, there are things that you don't understand, and maybe it's time to have a conversation with your wife or your girlfriend or your daughter about, like, hey, does this actually happen? Like, do you actually get harassed by strangers outside? Because, like, if so, like, I would love for you to, like, tell me about that and, like, help me understand your experience.
The craziest thing, though, to me is that, like, when you have a significant other or you get that person in your life and then you do share that experience, they are so mind blown that it is possible to happen. Or that happened to you, and you're like,
because it's never happened to them before.
Like, I'm not even gonna lie, this is kind of like a normal experience. Like, I'm not even like, I'm really not shocked that happened.
Yeah.
But I was kind of just telling you because I was like, I'm just making conversation.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy part. Is like, I'm telling you out of making conversation. Not even the fact that I'm like
trying to
alarmed.
Or like trauma dump on you or anything. Like, this is just my daily life.
I just was telling you.
Yeah. And like, it's just the disconnect that is there between men and women in the world right now is so huge. But this movie gives the perfect opportunity for men to start having conversations with each other, and B, start having conversations with women and listening and not telling us that we're wrong and not saying that we're crazy or we're ugly or we're being emotional or, you know, we're too leftist or we're too woke. It's like, we have to be.
But also the fact that we are showing you that this is a shared experience shows that it's not just one person, one type of woman. Like, it is showing, like, everybody. Like,
and it should be sad, and it should make you feel uncomfortable, and it should make you be mad at the fellow men, because, like, this is something your daughter's going to experience, or your niece, or your little cousin, or, you know, your mom has experienced. That's a big thing too. Like, after that movie was over, I just wanted to fucking hug my mom.
I texted in my mom's side of the family, we have like all the cousins and aunts in a group chat, and I literally texted them and I was like, every single one of you needs to go watch this movie. Yeah. Like, you just have to. And we were kind of like, it kind of like went into a whole conversation about it, but it was like, one, I thought it was like really cool that like I had that ability to go to those, like, that group of women and be like, you guys need to see this. And my mom was like, when we come down, like, we all need to watch it together if it's already like on a streaming service. My mom, like, we need to do this. Like,
I'm going home in September for like my dad's birthday and to see everybody. And I was like, we need to watch the Barbie movie together. Yeah. Like, I was like, if you don't see it before then, like, we need to watch it.
That's what in October when they come. My aunts all want to go as like a sister date now to go see it. But like, when they come down, we're like, we need to have a movie night when we're all together, because like that just be so fun. Yeah, like, and just have that shared experience. Because I mean, like, my oldest aunt's in her 70s, and then I'm the youngest. I'm 26 next week. Yeah, like, that's a wide range of experiences. But the fact that, like, I'm sure we've all had very similar. But I think what's crazy too is like talking more to my mom is like, and her like listening to the podcast, like, she loves the fact that we have this, just because it's like, she's like, I never had my voice like that. Like, at your age, I could never think that way or have a voice like that. Or like, there's times where like,
well, also just think about this. Our moms were born at a time when you couldn't even own a credit card when they were children. Like, their mothers couldn't own a credit card. Yeah. And that's like, crazy.
She's like, just to like, I look back at times and like, listening to you girls and like just the way the world is today, like being like, I wish I would have set up for myself in XYZ times or whatever. And like, I think it's really cool to see like her perspective change on women the past like couple of years, because me and my sister are also like very boisterous and like whatever, and like are not afraid to have that like uncomfortable conversation, which I think is like important, because like you just said, like the way our parents grew up is just not the same that we're growing up. Right. So I think like also like watch the movie together, it will be a really cool experience, because like they have never had to think that what they were going through was oppression or any sort of way, because that's just how life was, and they had no other option.
Nobody was questioning it, or like the people who were they were the crazy ones, right? Like, you know, like the people, like, because
the feminists going astray,
exactly,
they were
like, because misogyny is so normalized, like in the past, and especially like our parents, like, I mean, me and you, have internalized misogyny, whether we want to admit it or not. Like, we do have certain things that we have internalized because of misogyny that like are bad. I can't imagine how much our parents have.
No.
Unwillingly, obviously, because it's you know, been pressed on them and whatever. So it's like, to be able to watch this movie and like the oldest character in the movie is like in her 90s, and you see her on the screen, and it's like, okay, like it's been happening since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
Literally, like the beginning of the movie is supposed to be since the dawn of time. Like, women have been oppressed and forced into these roles, even as like fucking children, like you said, to play with dolls and to act like mothers, because that's all they're good for. And this movie was just like, it's such a wake up call to everybody, and it's also like such a call to action to like, if we want shit to change. I mean, they basically said it without saying it, like the Congress situation, the Supreme Court and the voting, and like, we have to go do it. We have to vote. We have to. We can't just sit here and ask for it, because it's not going to happen. Because nobody cares. That's the bottom line, and that's the sad truth. It's like,
but also, you know, think about it. Going into the movie, you were like, the thing that's crazy to me is that the biggest like supporters of anything are groups of women.
Literally,
like the target demographic is groups of women,
and for that to be buying power in the world.
Yeah, but to like that be like, I don't want to say the overall message, because it wasn't, but like an end message to the movie is like also crazy, because it's like, the power that we have, but we're like potentially just like not using, is like insane.
Well, I mean, let's be so honest. Like, if all women decided tomorrow to stop buying anything, our entire economy would shut down.
Okay, no, listen to this. The whole thing that's happening in Florida right now. They have no tourists. This is like their height of like the year. This is when like Florida makes their money, and like businesses survive for the rest of the year. It's
off
like,
of like what they make in these couple of months.
Is like right now, and they have no tourists and no like revenue streams coming in, and people are vacating Florida, change their vacations from there to somewhere else. Like, people are not going to Florida right now. And if that is just one state, imagine if it was overall, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
well, and like, I mean, fucking Ron DeSantis needs to, like, I do not agree with the death penalty, and I think the death penalty is bad because a lot of people get put to death who are wrongfully convicted or whatever. You know, I just think it's bad because of how many mistakes our legal system makes. I think it's bad. I don't think anybody but should be put to death. On that same note, I could name 10 people that should be put to death. And Ron DeSantis is on that list. That man is all of these. Okay. And not to get like religious on here, but like all of these people who swear up and down that God is good and whatever, and vote for that guy. I don't know if you believe in the devil or if you don't. That's the fucking devil. That guy is like if I had to like give a blueprint for what the devil would be, it would be that guy. So like the fact that like he has power, it's just so crazy because like he's like not educated very well. Yeah. Which as you become an adult, you realize like nobody really has to have a fucking education to do anything of power in this country. No one really knows shit. Also, like you actually don't even have to have degrees to represent your state or whatever. No. In that or whatever. And so like he's an idiot, and he is actually like a fucking Nazi, and he's just a bad person. And so the fact that he has political power is just further proof to me that women need to wake the fuck up, because how did he get voted for? Yeah. Because if we truly do represent 50% of the population, that should have never happened. Yeah. But women aren't voting, or they're voting for what their husbands vote for. Yep. And so that's why I'm hoping movies like this and like people talking about it, and like all the fucking Karens out there who say like, oh, feminists are gross and da 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 da. Shut up, because we're only helping you out. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a feminist. Like, I don't understand what is negative about it. Yeah. Especially women saying that. I get if a man says it, because like, they fucking hate us regardless. But how can you be a woman and be anti-women?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense. But I'm hoping the Barbie movie wakes some people up, and I'm also hoping that like the people who are awake and are not taking initiative start.
Yes.
I'm hoping that you realize the fucking symbolism of Barbie literally sitting on the ground and not doing anything is how so many people react when you have the power. Like, just fucking do it. Go register. Okay, this is the message of the episode. Go register to vote in your state and fucking vote. And get these old ass, wrinkly, disgusting heathens out of power. Ron DeSantis, you deserve death. And we need to get these people off the Supreme Court and make some change. And also, if you are shocked that I'm saying any of this, this isn't the podcast for you. And if you're offended by anything I say, go shove it up your ass. I do not care. But yeah, go see the Barbie movie. Amazing movie. If you're a girl, you're gonna like it. And if you don't like it, then you hate women, and I hate you.
Yeah. Then I think if you don't find anything, if you don't get anything out of it, specifically being a woman, you need to really sit down and reevaluate
life,
a lot of things, and then I think rewatch it.
Yeah. The only people who I'll give a pass if like you're maybe a little bit triggered by the movie is like people who have like severe mommy issues, because I will say this movie I feel like is for people who like maybe don't hate their mom, because it makes you kind of miss your mom. So like maybe if you have
it does, but I think that they're gonna find a different meaning in it.
True.
I think that it's a whole.
There's like
meaning.
Other things you can relate to. I think
for us it's because we have that relationship, and we are very appreciative of the way that our mothers have raised us.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes we're like, I don't think you got that, but also we're like, you know, we have that relationship and we understand. I think that they're gonna get something else out of it. I still think that there's still a message for those people.
Yeah. Wait, the last thing I do want to say about the movie is I saw this awesome TikTok yesterday, and it was this gay man talking about his whole life he like associated himself with women because in media there isn't a lot of representation for himself on screen, and you know he always,
especially him growing up,
well, right, and he always like was gravitated towards like rom-coms or whatever, because like he liked watching that and it's more feminine or whatever. And he was like, watching the Barbie movie was the first time that I realized that like even though I love women and I'm around women and women are my favorite people, I don't really get it. And he was like, and I feel like disappointed in myself for all of these years acting like I understood the female experience when I don't.
Right.
And he was like, and seeing Alan was like so awesome to be like, okay, I'm not, you know, on this toxic masculinity side and whatever, but I'm also not like, I can't really understand everything that they go through the same way that they can't understand like what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And that was like such a cool thing to hear a gay man say.
Yeah.
And to just be honest and be like, I understand, like I just don't get it.
But I think that comes down, it's even like us, like we don't understand the gay experience.
No,
we can
exactly.
We can love you, we can support you, and I want nothing but amazing things for you. But I don't understand what it's like to be gay.
Right.
I don't understand what it's like to be even like plus sized or to be a man or be of race. Like I don't understand any of those things, but all I can do is like love and support you through it and like hear you when you speak.
Yeah.
Like that's the only, and I think that in that guy's case, like that's where he can like, you know, he can't be upset at himself because like he's not a female.
Yeah.
But like to be able to sit there and listen and like actually take what women say and put it into practice, that's where you're gonna like learn. And that's exactly like, you know, I think what's been going on the past couple of years and hopefully continues within like all different cultures and all different of everything.
Yeah.
Like women, men, everything. I don't know. I think that's like, so that's what also, even if you are a woman, you can still get something out of the movie.
Exactly. And that was my point. It was like even him like associating himself so closely to the female experience his whole life, because like that's what also society has told him.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you can't be the typical guy because you're gay. So like you are better suited with women and whatever.
Yeah. Which I'm sure a lot of gay men feel that way.
Exactly. And so he was like watching this movie. He was like, I was moved, of course, but like it also helped me realize that like I'm not a girl. I'm not the same. Like we don't live the same shared experience, and like there are things that I'll never understand and there are things that they'll never understand, but like I have a better perspective now to like be a better supporter.
Yeah.
And so like that was really cool to like hear him say that.
No, that's really
and
awesome.
There was a few men who had like good reactions, and like I saw some TikToks of like their partners like low-key recording them, like they didn't know they were being recorded, like asking questions.
Yeah,
you know,
that's so cute.
And it was so sweet. And like I don't know, I just like I hope that's how the people in my life would react to the movie, but I feel like they really wouldn't.
Some would and some wouldn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you can't put them all in the same group, because I think some of them would, and I think some of them would be
be like, this was stupid.
Yeah, or they wouldn't say anything at all.
They'd be like, it was good.
I think that.
And that's almost worse.
No, I genuinely think that some, like, because if I look at it from my life, like, I really think that they would understand, they would be comprehending what's going on, but they would not know how to bring it up, so they just remove.
Yeah,
I think that's what would happen.
Yeah, which is exactly what happened with like the Roe v. Wade stuff too.
Yeah, but that's what, like, I just think that that's how it would be. The last thing I would say too is I loved the TikTok that's going around about the girl being like, everyone should dress up like Barbie for Halloween, and we all walk around and say, hey Barbie,
and that goes back to
I love
whole,
it.
Like, it's not basic.
Yeah, like that'd be so fun.
It's not basic to do it.
I don't even need to do a Halloween. Tell me next month.
Literally,
like it would be so fucking fun.
I love that idea.
No, I love it too, because literally you can dress up however you want
and just say you're Barbie,
and everyone just walks around and says, hey Barbie, hey Barbie. Like that'd be so fucking fun.
God, so cute.
I hope that that's still a trend come Halloween.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of weird Barbies on Halloween. I like dressed up like that.
Yeah,
like because I think that's fucking like I think the funny girl costume this year, we're done with Guy Fieri because he's been canceled. Like, thank God. I'm sorry,
it's about time.
I'm so sick of seeing that flaming shirt on Halloween. I hate that
the
costume.
Hair. The backwards visor.
But the weird Barbie I can get down with.
I could see you going as
like
weird Barbie.
That's such a no, because I like to dress hot on Halloween.
Yeah, but I still think you could do it in a hot way.
Yeah,
but I feel like you would do it like, and it'd be,
and I could do the splits.
Yes, come on, babe. I wasn't not thinking that. Like, I think it'd be so fucking fun if everyone dressed up as like what they believe Barbie would be,
right?
Or the Barbie that they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd be so fucking fun.
Yeah,
so, I don't know. What do you think about that?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Society 97. My name is Kellen Red K. You can find me at Kellen Red K on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
And I'm Emily. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Starnsy. Don't forget to follow the podcast on TikTok. We are at Society 97 Pod, where we post clips from the show. And we are also on Instagram at society97.pod, where we also post clips from the show, but we also post stories, and you can DM us over there. Also, I did want to shout this out, so I apologize, and I know this is annoying, but I have a Poshmark where I sell my clothes, and we are trying to save up for a new camera, and so literally anything that you buy on there helps us out so much, because we really don't make money off of this, and we're like trying to get a better production for everybody. So if you want to buy stuff from there, I will link it in the show notes here. But yeah, and I put a lot of effort into it.
She really does.
So
she's
like,
the cutest.
It's really cute.
I just picked out clothing and gave it to her, and she's done.
Yeah,
she's so cute.
And I put a lot of effort into it. So like, if you need clothes for cheap, and I'm saying this shit is cheap as dirt, please buy it.
And we also have a YouTube channel, Society 87, where we post vlogs every single Tuesday and the video version of the podcast every single Friday. And this past week's vlog was us going to see Barbie. And I hope you guys enjoyed our little rundown and how we felt about it. But if you want to see our experience previous, you can go to our YouTube channel. So make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and comment over there, because we love to hear from you. All right. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.